Tell you right now is that he was 100% inspired by ISIS.
The FBI says the Houston Army vet accused in the Bourbon Street attack acted alone. And we now have new video showing suspect Shamsud-Din Jabbar loading the truck used in the attack in New Orleans just hours before he plowed into the crowd. There is much to cover tonight. Hello there and good early evening to you. I'm Mia Gradney.
And I'm Tracy Bragg in for Len Cannon. 14 people were killed in the New Year's Day terror attack and more than 30 others were wounded. And we're tracking several big developments tonight. The FBI saying today that based on hundreds of interviews and reviews of the attacker's calls, social media accounts, and electronic devices, they are confident he acted alone. That's new information from the last 24 hours.
Officials also confirmed today Jabbar posted several videos online prior to the attack proclaiming his support for the terror group ISIS.
Meanwhile, FBI Houston says it concluded its search of Jabbar's home in North Harris County, adding there is no threat to residents in that area.
And finally, Bourbon Street reopened this afternoon ahead of today's Sugar Bowl matchup between Georgia and Notre Dame.
And that's where we begin our live team coverage with Matt Doherty live along Bourbon Street. Matt, what's the security situation looking like there tonight?
Well, I want you to follow me for just a second. We're actually on a side street off of Bourbon Street, but take a look at this. We're not even actually on Bourbon Street. So you can see if you walk up here, you have these police barricades that are guarded by an actual officer. Then you have multiple units. If you follow it along this way, now we're looking at Bourbon Street down the street where you see those lights. That's actually Bourbon Street. And then you're going to see that other barrier that's right there in the middle of the road. That's been set up as well. So as you can see, things have changed significantly over the last 2 days, things that they hope might prevent another attack. With tight security on the ground and in the air, Bourbon Street is slowly getting back to normal. An apparently impenetrable blockade composed of government vehicles, concrete, and law enforcement officers now stands at the intersection of Bourbon and Canal Streets. It's the same intersection where Shamsud-Din Jabbar started his path of death early New Year's Day. Those 14 who were killed now memorialized against one of Bourbon Street's brick walls, each represented by a yellow rose.
And we heard that they were going to open Bourbon Street today, and so we came down for it to be open and support the businesses and show that everybody's going to come back because we have to rebound.
Jack Petrowski from Long Island was on his way into the city yesterday when he heard the news.
We'll come back from this.
He, like the other visitors and workers we met with here on Bourbon Street, believe reopening the French Quarter is not only necessary, but also symbolic. Security was tight at the Superdome, too, this afternoon ahead of the Sugar Bowl. The game that was postponed following the attack was played, with Notre Dame and Georgia fans flocking to the stadium. Those we spoke with say the city is unshakable. They've recovered from tragedy before. They'll do it again. Now, as you've been able to see, people are coming out tonight. These crowds are building. We're going to have to wait and see just how many people decide to show up tonight, but certainly a different mood tonight, and people do tell me that they feel safe. Back to you.
Definitely a different mood. Thanks so much, Matt. Meanwhile, we are getting new information and a clearer picture of the timeline and the motivations behind yesterday's attack.
And Victor Jacobo is live with what he is learning from both law enforcement and other officials this evening. Victor.
Yeah, I mean, sources with the House Homeland Security Committee told me today that that group of representatives got a briefing today by security officials in which it was confirmed to them that the attacker was not on any federal government watch lists at the time of the attack. This comes as the FBI says the attacker appears to have acted alone and was inspired by the terrorist group ISIS.
Let me be very clear about this point. This was an act of terrorism. It was premeditated and an evil act.
The FBI says the attacker, Shamsud-Din Jabbar, rented a Ford F-150 in the Houston area on December 30th and drove to New Orleans on the 31st. It was during that trip, investigators say he posted several videos proclaiming his support for ISIS and motivation for the attack he was about to commit.
In the first video, Jabbar explains he originally planned to harm his family and friends, but was concerned the news headlines would not focus on the, quote, war between the believers and the disbelievers, end quote.
Officials also saying security video showed 2 improvised explosive devices, or IEDs, found along Bourbon Street were placed there hours before by the attacker and no one else. Law enforcement also recovered 3 cell phones and 2 laptops belonging to the attacker.
There is just nothing to indicate through call records, through anything on those devices, through interviews, through anything in our systems that he was aided in this attack by anybody.
Counterterrorism experts tell KHOU 11 investigators are able to make such a determination through a rapid and deep scrub of the attacker's life.
And that crunch came together in a 24-hour period, and the determination was made that this guy was not acting in concert with others, and it does not appear as though he was directed. He was inspired, and probably inspired online.
Now, coming up at 6, more of my conversation with counterterrorism expert James Conway and what he says are the takeaways for large cities like Houston when it comes to bolstering security for major events and preventing such tragedies like the one that happened in New Orleans. Now reporting live in Houston, Victor Jacobo, KHOU 11 News.
A lot of different cities doing a further and deeper assessment today of their own security. Victor, thank you. People in Houston and in Beaumont, where the Bourbon Street attack suspect also once lived, are floored by his involvement.
Yeah, one family friend says he's also angry at whoever may have influenced Shamsud-Din Jabbar.
Jason Miles joins us now live. Jason, what else did these individuals who knew the suspect share with you?
Hey there, guys. Well, an old Army buddy here in the Houston area says news of the attack left him speechless, while that family friend over in Beaumont says it definitely doesn't match up with the guy he thought he knew.
A shelf inside his Cypress area home holds many of Trevor Neal's military mementos, including from a stint at the former Fort Gordon in Georgia, where he first met Shamsud-Din Jabbar, who everyone knew as Sham.
You know, he's a normal individual, no red flags. Great soldier, phenomenal friend.
Like Sham, Neal settled in the Houston area after the Army.
Born and raised in Beaumont, Texas.
And thought his old friend was doing well until this week's shocking news.
I was absolutely floored. I buckled up and I couldn't talk for 20, 30 seconds. I was just, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
He can't imagine what may have led Jabbar to want to hurt so many innocent civilians after honorably serving his country.
And it's very unfortunate that he took that path.
It's a path family friends in Beaumont, where Jabbar graduated from high school in 2001, cannot comprehend either.
Just surprised because this is not how we knew Shamsud-Din.
This man, who did not want to be shown on camera, spoke with our sister station after meeting with Jabbar's family.
And I just arrived here to mention my condolences, my sadness, my shock and anger a little bit.
Including at whomever, he says, may have influenced his friend.
To think that such an acts that he did were okay. It's not okay.
And Mr. Neal, the old Army friend, says he lost contact with Jabbar in recent years, but the last time they texted was about grabbing lunch or dinner here in downtown Houston, a meeting that never happened. Reporting live, Jason Miles, KHOU 11 News.